Bron Breakker is currently experiencing the kind of upward trajectory in WWE that many superstars dream of, but few ever fully realize. His rise from a powerful rookie with a legacy name to a genuine top-tier player in the company is happening at a pace few expected. With his recent performances, storylines, and creative positioning, it's not hyperbole to suggest that he may be the next big thing in WWE. The company's long-standing goal has been to cultivate a dominant, marketable star who can transcend the product in the same way that previous titans like Roman Reigns, John Cena, and The Rock have done. Breakker possesses a rare combination of athleticism, charisma, and believability that positions him to carry that mantle. What makes this moment more pivotal than ever is the perfect timing of his emergence amidst the injury absence of Seth Rollins and the transitional state of several key top stars. As WWE seeks a new face to elevate, Breakker has not only stepped up, but aggressively taken center stage, dominating segments, stealing the spotlight from legends, and making clear that he isn't waiting for permission. He's seizing the opportunity. Recently on Monday Night Raw, Breakker teamed up with Bronson Reed in a brutal display that closed the show in dramatic fashion. Together, they dismantled Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, who are two of the most protected figures in recent WWE history. This moment wasn't a fluke. It was a calculated storyline-defining attack that broadcast Breakker's status to everyone watching. The show didn't just end with Breakker standing tall. It positioned him as a central force heading into one of WWE's biggest events of the year. SummerSlam 2025 now features him prominently in a tag team bout that carries massive implications, both for his trajectory and for the ongoing power structure in WWE. The inclusion of Reigns, Uso, Reed, and Breakker in a marquee match suggests a passing of the torch narrative that fans and analysts are already picking apart. WWE doesn't casually script younger stars to lay waste to someone like Reigns on live television without seeing long-term value in the person they're promoting. For Breakker, this was a defining chapter that told the audience he is not a supporting character anymore. He's being booked like the future of the business. His alignment with Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed, especially in the wake of Seth Rollins' injury, further confirms the company's commitment to his development. Heyman, long known as one of the greatest managers and on-screen strategists in wrestling history, does not associate himself with anyone he doesn't believe can be special. From Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns, Heyman's track record of elevating superstars is unmatched. That he's now standing beside Breakker, guiding him through promos and strategic beatdowns, is a major endorsement. WWE has always carefully chosen when to use Heyman, and he's not wasted here. Instead, his presence amplifies Breakker's aura, giving him a commanding edge that many up-and-comers lack. The power of Heyman's words combined with Breakker's in-ring dominance is a cocktail WWE is preparing to serve at full strength from SummerSlam and beyond. Breakker's ability to seamlessly fit into top-level storylines is no accident. Even without championship gold currently around his waist, he feels like a main eventer. This is incredibly rare for someone with relatively limited main roster experience. The fact that he lost the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41 and yet rebounded almost immediately into a storyline involving Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Jey Uso speaks volumes about how WWE perceives him. Most wrestlers would see a title loss as a step down or a creative reset. Breakker treated it like a launch pad. His aggression and consistency week after week have made it impossible for fans to ignore his presence. Whether he's ambushing superstars backstage or crushing people in the ring, he has developed an undeniable rhythm that makes each of his appearances feel essential. There's no filler in his segments. Everything is designed to elevate his stock, and it's working. The narrative that Breakker is the future of WWE isn't just corporate hype. It's being written in real time on television. From his debut matches to his current dominance, there's a clear, steady pattern of growth that suggests the company is heavily invested in his ascent. Every move he makes is amplified by commentary teams. Every attack is emphasized in post-show breakdowns, and every promo receives meaningful airtime. WWE is grooming him, not in the old-school sense of slow development, but through a modern lens of immersive storytelling. They're letting his presence speak louder than over-scripted promos. His energy, body language, and in-ring style all tell the story of a man who is hunting for the top spot, not asking politely for it. That intensity separates him from other rising stars who may have charisma or athletic ability, but lack the edge that forces fans to care. Another underrated quality in Breakker is his consistency. In a business where many stars plateau or lose momentum after one big feud, Breakker continues to elevate. He doesn't need to be protected by smoke and mirrors. He's not someone who disappears between pay-per-views or only shines in multi-man matches. Breakker delivers every single time he's on screen. That reliability is something WWE values above almost everything else. In the chaos of weekly programming and shifting creative plans, having someone who can be plugged into any situation and make it feel big is gold. Breakker is proving to be that guy. Whether it's a tag match, backstage promo, or a main event showdown, he makes the most of every second. This efficiency, combined with his physical dominance, creates the kind of dependable presence that companies like WWE build entire eras around. Breakker's impact isn't confined to in-ring performance or storyline development alone. It extends to the backstage perception among peers, and decision makers. Reports from within WWE indicate that officials are impressed not just with his physicality, but with his professionalism, adaptability, and willingness to learn. He arrives early, studies footage, collaborates constructively with veterans, and responds to feedback without ego. That level of maturity, particularly for someone so early in their WWE tenure, adds a layer of reliability that top brass deeply respect. In a locker room full of personalities, attitudes, and egos, someone who keeps his head down and outperforms expectations quietly becomes invaluable. The respect Breakker commands internally is quickly translating into sustained screen time and top-tier creative involvement, signaling he's being trusted with more than just fleeting success. What adds even more weight to Breakker's rise is the broader context of WWE's current main event scene. Roman Reigns, while still a looming figure, is winding down his time as the focal point of every major storyline. Stars like Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are over, carry their own creative baggage, and Seth Rollins is out indefinitely with injury. This vacuum of consistent top-level talent gives Breakker room to step forward without resistance. WWE has a rare window to transition from one dominant era to the next, and Breakker is perfectly situated to capitalize on that shift. His recent destruction of Roman Reigns on Raw wasn't just for shock value. It was symbolic of a larger generational change WWE appears to be orchestrating deliberately. With Paul Heyman's endorsement, Breakker gains more than a mouthpiece. He gains legacy association. Heyman's involvement is rarely casual. It usually means a long-term project is underway. His promos, calculated storytelling devices, and ringside psychology give Breakker a sophisticated edge, allowing him to remain physically focused while the narrative layers are built around him. This relationship amplifies his menace without forcing him to carry the verbal workload, which is still a developing area for Breakker. The partnership doesn't highlight his weaknesses, it hides them, making his presentation almost airtight. Heyman enhances Breakker the way he once elevated Lesnar, crafting tension before matches even begin, and giving every interaction heightened significance. Looking forward, the next 12 months could define Breakker's legacy. If SummerSlam delivers on the growing anticipation, and if he either pins Roman Reigns or inserts himself into the title picture, the landscape of WWE will shift drastically. He doesn't need to win gold to feel like a winner. His mere presence in those moments validates his growth. But if he does walk out of MetLife Stadium with a major title or a massive victory, the conversation will no longer be about potential. It will be about fulfillment. WWE has not only positioned Bron Breakker to succeed, they've challenged him to carry the future of the brand. Judging by everything he's done since stepping into the spotlight, he's more than ready to accept that challenge and run with it. Another layer to Breakker's growing dominance is the legitimate speculation that he could be inserted into the World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. Originally planned to feature Gunther and CM Punk, that bout could now include Breakker as a late addition, especially if Seth Rollins' knee injury keeps him out of the event entirely. This kind of last-minute inclusion would not only shake up the card, but would validate Breakker as a top-tier player. He's not just a guy with potential anymore. He's someone creative is willing to thrust into a world title picture at one of WWE's biggest shows. The potential use of the Money in the Bank briefcase, combined with the chaos surrounding Rollins' status, opens up a window where Breakker could end SummerSlam as champion. If that happens, it would accelerate his rise to levels even his most optimistic supporters didn't see coming. His faction, too, is not just about brute force. It represents a strategic recalibration for WWE's long-term storytelling. With Rollins injured, Breakker has taken over as a natural leader of their stable, working closely with Bronson Reed to maintain dominance on Raw. This shift isn't being presented as temporary. It feels permanent, or at least transformative. The discussions of potentially recruiting new members like Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, or Dragon Lee add an element of intrigue. WWE could be building the next major powerhouse stable, centered around Breakker, that dominates Raw for years. When you consider how dominant factions like Evolution, The Shield, or The Bloodline changed careers for everyone involved, it's not a stretch to see similar potential in this group, especially with Breakker as the centerpiece. This gives him not just solo momentum, but faction-based power, which historically has been a formula for creating megastars. The versatility in Breakker's character is another reason why WWE is pushing him so strongly. He can work as a brute force heel, but he also has the look and aura to eventually transition into a fan-favorite anti-hero. Right now, fans boo him, but there's a growing respect for his ability. The crowd reactions are slowly starting to change, not because he's pandering to them, but because people admire his physicality and the conviction in his performances. That slow burn respect from fans is one of the most powerful transformations in WWE storytelling. Stars like Batista, Roman Reigns, and even The Rock followed similar trajectories. Initial heel heat that gradually turned into reluctant admiration and eventually full-blown support. Breakker is traveling that same road, and WWE is giving him the spotlight to walk it at full speed. What further enhances Breakker's path is his real-life athletic pedigree. As the son of Rick Steiner and nephew of Scott Steiner, he already has wrestling in his blood. But unlike many second-generation wrestlers who rest on legacy, Breakker has carved his own own lane. His matches are intense, crisp, and brutally efficient. There's no wasted motion. His explosiveness in the ring draws comparisons to peak Goldberg and early John Cena. He isn't trying to be a clone of anyone. He's molding his own identity. That uniqueness is important in an era where fans are more educated and critical. WWE needs someone who doesn't feel like a reheated version of the past. Breaker's energy, aggression, and unpredictability make him feel fresh.